Good evening. Hi, my name is Frankie Kington, known as a wise entrepreneur. On my YouTube channel today, I have a very special friend of mine called Mourad Arjouzi. Hello, Mourad. Thanks for coming on. How
Hello.
are you today? Hi. You okay?
Hello, how are you? Perfect, good.
Yeah, I'm very happy to have Mourad Arjouzi on with us today. He has a wealth of knowledge, what he's going to share with us. And I'm really looking forward to actually speaking to Mourad today. It's going to be an amazing conversation. And I know that Mourad's got a lot to share with us. So what we're going to talk about, developing personal growth to developing entrepreneurship. So it's personal growth to developing entrepreneurship. And Mourad is going to give a lot of his wisdom on what that actually means for him and how he's actually developed himself as an entrepreneur. And he's going to talk about personal growth as well. So Mourad, I've just gave you that title, my dear friend. Tell me what that means to you, personal growth to developing entrepreneurship. Can you explain what that is for you and how you've actually done that, Mourad?
Yeah, okay. So thank you so much for this invitation. So I will present myself. So I am Mourad. So I am math teacher. Also, I am mentor at New York Academy STEM. So we help students to develop their skill for being entrepreneur. So I worked for 5 years in computer science. After that, I worked in projects for helping young people to create some social projects. After that, I decided to be math teacher. So as you know, so in this life, everything changed. So and we need to prepare students and people for resolve the problem. So for doing that, we need to change our mindset. So when we ask how we can change our mindset, we need to think about personal growth because we can't develop entrepreneurship if we can't develop our skills. We can't change the world if we can't change ourselves. And this reason, I like personal growth because it's very important for everyone. And also, personal growth is not just for entrepreneurs, it's for everyone. So I noticed that before we talked just about technical skills, but now the need of the job is soft skills, our personality. Also, what we notice for resolving the problem, we need to have some skills as proactivity because it's very important. We notice that people blame everything without taking action. So in this reason, we need to change their mindset because if we take action and we will be proactive, we can find solution. And also why personal growth is very important for entrepreneur because as you know, every entrepreneur need to communicate. So they need to build a great communication. And this reason, we need to develop these skills. Also, when, for example, we like to take or find solution, we have to ask a good question. Because if we don't ask a good question, we can't find a good solution. For this reason, we have this kind of the power of question. Why? For example, a lot of people shows that there are problems in education, but they don't ask a good question. For example, when we ask 5 why, we can't find the root of the problem. In this case, we can't find the solution. And also, we have this kind, we need to entrepreneur, and also everyone need to have to build leadership because it's very important. When we work in team, we need to have some skills influenced by doing, listening, have active listener. Because if we don't listen very well, we can't understand our customer and we can't understand other people. And this reason, we will have this kind of conflict on management. In this case, we will have a lot of problem. If we will have a lot of problem, so we will have this kind of stress every time, and we will have a lot of problem. And maybe, and I am sure, if we will have a lot of problem, we have a problem in our health. So for this reason, we need to pay attention, and also we need and also pay attention of in what we eat, and also pay attention on our head. For this reason, we need to do meditation, play sports, and work every time, because in this case, we can have this kind of, for example, take a break, listen in our body, and also think positively. And also what we need, and is very important, meet a positive people. Why? Because when we reach positive people, we can hear every time a good word, positive word. And as you know, our word can be our belief, and our belief can be our habit, and our habits can be our life. And the opposite, we will take an example. For example, when we talk with negative people, they will say every time, you can't, you are stupid. And our mind will think about it, and he will believe in it. So they can't do anything. They will stop. And every time they say, I am stupid, I can't do it. And this reason why it's very important to pay attention who we meet and what we listen, and also why it's very important to listen every time positive thing. We have internet, we have technology, we have a lot of things, and we blame why we don't grow. So the problem is not in other but in us, because we don't find this kind of ability to grow. I give some example why it's very important to grow in using technology. For example, now we have a lot of course online, so we don't need a lot of money. Before, for example, if we like to do some training in MIT or Stanford, we need a lot of money and we need to travel. So now you can just, for example, uh, $35 and you can have some training. We can ask, I don't have money enough, I don't have problem, and. So in this case, we can use financial aid, and we can have a lot of training. In this case, we will have this kind of personal growth, change mindset, have a lot of certificate. And this interview, I will also talk about personal branding. A lot of people share negative things in social media, and they don't pay attention, because we don't know who can say our publication, our comments. So in the opposite thing, if we will share a positive thing, we will meet a positive people. And also, if we will have a good profile in LinkedIn, for example, a lot of company can say our profile, because now we talk about artificial intelligence. It's very important that we need to control it, because when we put a good profile, a good skills, and we share a lot of information, so we will meet a positive people. In this case, we will have this kind of ecosystem of people, they think positively, and our skills will grow up exponentially. And in this case, we will resolve a lot of problem, because we are not in, for example, in place that we just hear negative things, but we are in place who we can share idea, we can resolve problem. Because when you meet a positive people in social media, so everyone have this kind of knowledge. And when we have a lot of people, so this knowledge will be huge. In this case, we will have a huge knowledge. And when we have a huge knowledge, we can resolve the problem. In this case, we start by ourselves, and we are human, and after that just our salary, after that we will be entrepreneur, because we have this kind of jump between personal person who just like passive learning, passive person, and active person who take initiative, who resolve the problem, who like to have a huge impact in the world. For this reason, it's very important to think about personal growth.
Thank you so much, Mourad. I think you just covered it there. You talked about personal growth and you talked about really developing yourself as a person and personal growth. To me, what is personal growth? Personal growth can mean just reading books every day, which I know as a guerrilla fighter. Somebody who reads books every day is known as a guerrilla fighter. That's an amazing way for you to change your mindset through reading books, even studying courses, yeah, and really developing yourself and attending like masterminds as well. And people may say, well, mastermind. A mastermind is a group of entrepreneurs or people in business who sit down together, ask questions and share ideas of becoming an entrepreneur. And what else just explained it clearly to there. When we're entrepreneurs, we want to do business. Mourad just explained very clearly that it's important that we surround ourselves around the right people. Because when we surround ourselves around the right people, as Mourad just said, we have the right and the correct mindset to be an entrepreneur. So it's really important because Mourad knows that when you're growing and you're developing yourself, you want to become an entrepreneur, you're going to get people who are going to say, oh, no, you can't do that. You're going to let people say, who do you think you are? Sometimes that can be the closest people to you, can't it, Mourad? It can be your friends, it can be your family who are really criticizing you and doubting what it is that you do. So, you know, you've got to be strong, you've got to be grounded, you've got to do your personal growth. You've got to do your self-development.
Yeah.
You come up against negative people, not say you have to be rude to them, you just spend less time around negative people and spend more time around positive people. That's great for your mindset. And they say the 5 people that you spend your closest time around in your life, that is the person who you're going to become. So be really careful of the people you associate with, that you knock about with or knock around with. Yes. So be really careful about that. Yeah. Mourad as well touched on some amazing points about a lot of people like to blame other people. We live in a blame culture, don't we, Mourad? Where everybody likes to take their problems out on everybody else. But as an entrepreneur, it teaches about self-discipline, self-development, mastering our mind rather than letting our mind master us. And it teaches about being successful and standing alone. I feel you have to stand alone as an entrepreneur. So when that's touched on personal growth, about developing through studying, doing courses, reading books, what I call guerrilla fighter. What I would say, I'm going to ask Mourad now. Mourad, when we talk about entrepreneurs, could you explain to the audience what an entrepreneur is? Because sometimes we have so many ships, as I call it. And one of my quotes is the 3 ships to success: leadership, entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship. Please, Mourad, could you explain to us what entrepreneurship is for you? What does that word mean to you? And how do you live up to that word?
Yeah, for me, entrepreneurship, when we check some problem and we develop it to a solution, and we can find the solution, and also we can resolve a lot of problem. So we can resolve problem of poverty, of environment. Now there are a lot of opportunity. For example, COVID gave us a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of people who they blame over time, but now we start to talk about digital. So we have a lot of things to resolve it, to find it, and develop our planet. So every time we need to look around us and find a problem and resolve it. In this case, we will be entrepreneur. And also, now I start to think about the importance for building a new generation of entrepreneur, because we have a lot of problems. For this reason, I think and I believe it's time that we will start to learn students in middle school and high school about entrepreneurship and also about SDG, because as we talked, so it's mindset. So problem equal opportunity equal entrepreneur. So this is our mindset. So even if we can start by small projects, even if just, for example, we say that a lot of students at university or college, they say that we have money for finance our studies. But if we will teach them that they can do some extra courses or they can take some courses and learning by doing, so they can create some platform or they can talk with some entrepreneur and help them, or they can work in some organization and they can have some, they can work in projects after that directly when they finish college, they can be entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is just mindset, problem, opportunity for
Fantastic,
me.
Murad. You put it so sweetly. I like that. Entrepreneur is about mindset and opportunities and solving problems. And as entrepreneurs, we have a lot of problems to overcome and solve. But what I
Yeah,
would say about
and
entrepreneur as well, the word entrepreneur is a business person who takes calculated risks to make money.
yeah,
We're
and also we talk.
calculated. We're not putting all our eggs in one basket. We may have district business
Yeah,
ventures. It could be 3 or 4 or 5, couldn't it, Murad? And we have these business ventures what make money. So the idea of
yeah,
entrepreneurs are taking calculated risks all the time to make money and generate wealth for themselves and to help their team, depending on the business they're building, whether it's a lifestyle business or an empire that they're building. They may need people and joint partnerships like me and Murad, or a collaboration to work with other people to build this empire. So sometimes you need to work with different organizations and different people who will take on certain tasks for you as you're building your entrepreneur business, because we learn through skills. So as an entrepreneur, Murad, I know it's 80% mindset, 20% skills. Isn't that amazing?
yeah,
80%
yeah,
mindset,
and also
20% skills. Sorry, Murad, yeah?
and yeah, also I will like to relate between personal growth, entrepreneurship, and we talked about reading books. So how we can be entrepreneur. So for being entrepreneur, there are some key. So we need to read a lot, because when we read a lot, we can develop our creativity and also our innovation. And also we need to listen every time about entrepreneur, how they build their mindset. And also we need to accept our failure. I think is the bad things in our education system, we say that we are failed. But when we fail, we can learn from our mistakes, and after that we can build a great personality. And also when we read the books, we can have a lot of idea. And when I start to learn about entrepreneurship, so and also I start to learn and read about the success stories. A lot of them, if we say all of them, they read a lot of books. Even, for example, Elon Musk, Mark of Facebook, they read a lot, because in this case, they work in their mindset. And also maybe something we say that is infection, but is the need of the future. So they prepare themselves for the future.
Thank you, Murad. And Murad touched on some really important points there as well about entrepreneurship. He talked about reading books and modeling yourself of the successful entrepreneurs. That's why we read books. But I know as well, Murad, mentoring and coaching is a real skill. It's one of the tasks what we need to develop as entrepreneurs. If we can mentor and
Yeah.
coach, we become very, very successful entrepreneurs. And do you know public speaking as well? Standing on a stage and telling your story to an audience. That's where the successful people are. Isn't that right, Murad? Public speaking?
Yeah, and also, yeah, thank you so much. And also we can difference between mentor and coach. Coach who's the person who can give you a good question for resolving the problem. And the mentor is the person who have more experience than you, and you can help you to achieve your target quickly and go to points.
Thank you for bringing that up, Mourad. So remember the difference between a mentor and a coach. A mentor, as far as I can say, will give you certain tasks to do. And if you can complete them tasks, he'll praise you on it. If you struggle with certain tasks, he will help you with them tasks. Whereas a coach, he asks exceptional questions. We have exceptional listening, and we give exceptional feedback, and we give exceptional questions as well to the feedback what we're getting. So there's 4 things there what a coach does: exceptional listening, exceptional questions, exceptional feedback, and feeding on them exceptional questions. So we know that we've listened to the person in front of us, because with a mentor and a coaching relationship, it's about both parties. If you can form an amazing relationship with the mentee, the mentor, the coachee, and the coach, that makes it special. So when we're talking about skills and tasks of an entrepreneur, this is what we're talking about. 80% mindset, 20% tasks and skills of mentoring, say coaching, or even public speaking. Once we've mastered those topics, we're on our journey to where we want to be. So remember that, ladies and gentlemen, and Murad's touched on that very, very nicely. So Mourad, tell me some of the experiences what you had. Now, I know that you're a very successful person. Tell me some of the experiences what you had. When we talk about entrepreneur, we always talk about money, and we talk about making money, which is really important. Got any wisdom or any tips about money around entrepreneurship? What is important for you about entrepreneurship when it involves money? Because I know that money is a valuable thing, and money, you know, very precious to a lot of people, and money can create a lot of values in our lives. But I'm sure we have to create value with money, and there's some negative sides with money. Would you agree with that, Mourad? How did you start as an entrepreneur? What was most important for you?
So for me, so there are 2 things. So have a huge impact and money. So we say that don't work for money, let money work for you. So for entrepreneurs, they need to be patient, because we don't know exactly when they can have money, but they work and they follow the process for being success. And my experience with entrepreneurship, so I worked as mentor, and I worked in a project for helping students to be entrepreneur and create a project. In this case, my mindset start to change. I say, what is very important for me? So for me now as entrepreneur is to have a huge impact in this world. After that, the money can come directly, because we say that everything can come in the best time.
Exactly, Mourad. I think you made some really important points here. I honestly believe, Mourad, if you're passionate about what you do, you're passionate, the money will always come. Focus on the mindset first and learning the skills. When you do that, the money will come along. Because me and Mourad, we're passionate about people. I'm passionate about young people. I'm passionate about teenagers. That's why I'm a life coach. And I do public speaking, because I know that every teenager and every person has a voice and a story to tell. And believe me, business owners and entrepreneurs and people love a story, an amazing story. I've even written my own book as well, which is really personal for me, but it's opened up a lot of doors for my life, and it's my story of how I've changed my life and become successful as an entrepreneur. So thank you so much for all your tips.
I will just add something.
Yeah,
This reason for being a good entrepreneur, we need to have a great vision and mission. So even if you have a lot of problems, you will remember that you have this mission. For me, it's to have a huge impact in this world. So when I wake up, I say my mission and my vision is to have a huge impact into the world. So in this case, I am sure that I will achieve my targets. It's kind of visualization and thinking around the future, but take action now. We need to think about the future, but we need to take action now.
Amazing, Mourad. I love the way you said mission. Your mission statement will take you on a journey, but your mission statement will keep you focused on what you said you was going to do. That is what a leader is, and that is what we are, thought leaders and entrepreneurs. So Mourad, absolutely amazing there. I love what you talked about and what you said. It was so valuable as an entrepreneur. And I'm sure that the audience and the people listening would have got some amazing value and some information from you there, Mourad. I know I have, and I really enjoyed it. So Mourad, as we round up, just give us some details of where we can find you. Would you like to share some details of where we can find you? Can we see you or look you up anywhere on any websites, any information? Would you like to share it with us, please?
Yeah, I will share my Facebook, Arjouzi Mourad, and also my LinkedIn link. So you can find all things about me. Thank you so much for this invitation. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Mourad. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. You know where you can find me on Facebook, Empowering Youth Development. I have my own YouTube channel, Life Coach, Empowering Youth Development, because it's all about youth and looking after our younger generation. Yeah, and I have my website, www.frankiekington.com. You can get me on there. And they have my book as well on my website called The Wise Entrepreneur, Flying on the Inside and Reaching New Heights, Growing Pains. So thank you so much for tuning in. Mourad, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, my dear friend, for tuning in. Thanks for sharing all your valuable information. Thank you for listening to us, guys. Warmest wishes to you all, and thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much.
If you like what you see, comment below, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I look forward to catching up for you, hopefully, and speak to you all very soon. Take care. My warmest wishes now. Bye-bye. Thank you, Mourad. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Take care now. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.